Hey guys, it's Cece. So like I said in my last video, today I'm going to be showing you how I use a grid. Grids are super helpful with mastering proportions, and they help you get to the point where you cannot use them at all and still have perfect proportions. Some people think that using grids is kind of like cheating, but I think it's totally different from tracing, which to me is more like cheating. As long as you're doing it for your own good and it's helping you grow as an artist, definitely go for it. So I start by picking a reference photo that I want to use and printing it out. This is the physical copy, so you don't have to have it in color because you're only just getting the proportions out, but you can always use an electronic device for references when you're coloring it. This is kind of unrelated to grids, but people always ask me how I choose what to draw. I always draw things or people that I like because I believe that if you're drawing something that you don't love, the process of drawing it isn't going to be that joyful. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I am a huge fan of Jena Malone, so that's who I'm drawing currently. And I also have an inspiration envelope on my wall, so whenever I have great ideas that come into my mind but I don't have the time to actually pursue them, I'll write them down and put them into the envelope, so when I have an artist block, I can just reach in and grab some inspiration. First, I'm going to measure the length and the width of the photo. As you can see, I kind of accidentally measured it in centimeters first, and then I realized that I want it to be in inches, so that's why there are two numbers there. You can make your boxes whatever size you want. Obviously, the smaller they are, the more accurate your proportions will all be. But I don't really like making them super small because that's a ton of work, so I usually draw 1 by 1 inch boxes. Since my ruler goes up by 1 inch, I'm going to mark some ticks at the edge of the photo so that they go up by 1 inch as well. Try to make your markings as equal apart as possible because the smallest mistake could potentially mess up a few of your proportions. Also, do not worry if your drawing doesn't fit perfectly into a whole number of inches. You can still have some excess at the end while you're drawing, just don't forget about that bit at the end. Since I have that for both sides of the width, I'm going to connect those ticks together and essentially create a line, and I'm going to do that for all the ticks that I have, and just keep on doing that until I basically have a grid. And now I'm just going to do the exact same thing with the length of the photo. Once you've made your photo into a grid, you're essentially going to create a grid onto the paper that you're going to draw on. Just do the exact same steps, but now you don't have an image underneath your lines because that's what you're going to be drawing on later. So I'm just using the measurements on my photo and transferring it onto the piece of paper. Then I'm going to mark in my 1 inch ticks on the width and the length and then line them up to create a grid. Now it's time for the actual drawing. Honestly, you can start wherever you want with the photo, whatever feels comfortable to you. Just look at it square by square so you're reducing the area of what you have to draw. This allows you to zoom in into one specific part of the drawing. Once you get the proportions of one small square correct, you'll most likely have everything else in proportion as well. While you're sketching out everything, you don't have to do any of the tiny details. This grid really just helps you get your proportions correct, especially if you're drawing a portrait and proportions can be quite challenging. As you can see with my drawing, I didn't really draw in any of the details in her eyes, the camera, or her hair because I know that I'm totally capable of drawing in those details later on. And this is a future tip that I did not film. After drawing your sketch, it's best to erase your grid marks before you shade, especially in extremely light areas like skin. If you don't erase your lines, they'll be clearly visible, and we definitely don't want that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and also subscribe if you're new to my channel. Please tell me in the comment section below what kind of tutorials you would like to see because I definitely take your remarks into consideration. I'll talk to you guys next time and have a wonderful weekend. Bye!